So what's the key challenges with running Facebook ads? And I must admit that to most people, once they've actually got into funnels, this can become the most daunting part of the whole process. And it's actually probably the one, if you're spending a lot of time on anything, this is going to be it, because you're going to want to get this right, because it's where the money's being spent. But there's a few key things that so many people get right that I wanted to share with you. And there's 5 things I'm going to share with you today. First of all, the number one thing so many people get wrong is they don't spend time identifying the needs, habits, demographics, characters, places they hang out, things they follow of the person they're targeting, their avatar for their product. So whatever product it is that you're putting out there, there'll be a certain type of person that's going to appeal to. But not only a type of person, it may even be that a certain type of person at a certain stage in life. For example, when people are expecting a baby, there's certain things they're interested in at that point. When someone's getting divorced, there's certain things they're interested in at that point. So have a think about the type of character, the avatar, the demographics, the mindset, the age, where they live, where they hang out, their monetary earnings of your avatar, but also the stage of life they're actually at. And the amount of time, more amount of time you can spend here will save you more money than anything else you can do. Secondly, have a look at all of the Facebook ads and have a look at the audiences and the different categories there are, and start to see how you can split the demographics of your avatars and start to understand what you're looking for. And remember, with Facebook ads, you can also set things that you don't like as well. And we use this quite a lot because obviously in our field, real estate, we deal with landlords and tenants. We want to target the landlords. We don't want to target the tenants. So we will exclude things that tenants would follow so that we're aiming more at the landlord demographic. So think about things that they don't like as well, so that you can exclude those. So number one top tip, and the key challenges of Facebook ads, is know your avatar and spend some time getting that right. So point 2, and this is really common, is not spending enough money. Now, I get it. It's a bit nerve-wracking, and it might feel a little bit like gambling when you start doing Facebook. Like, throw some money on and see if it works. Okay, I get it. All right. But you've got to spend enough. If you've set the budget so that you're only going to get 1 click a day, it's going to take you months for Facebook to figure out whether your ads are good or not. You're not going to feel the value. You're going to give up before you get there. So you need to set a sensible value. You can set the value based on reach or on clicks or on downloads or on conversions. It's up to you what metrics you pay per click or pay per conversion on. We tend to choose conversion because then we know it's per sale. But you need to set a budget that is suitable for your product. So I would suggest that you at least start off, if you're an absolute newbie to this, to something like £500 a week as an absolute minimum, hopefully £1,000 per week to get you going. This is an investment in your future. Facebook has to learn about you and your product as much as you have to learn about it. And it is actually very clever. It will very quickly find out who's going to buy your product and who won't. And Facebook will do a lot of the work for you and start to put it in front of the people that are buying and not in front of those that aren't. Why? Because if you've clicked pay per conversion, it wants to earn money from you. So trust me, you've got to give Facebook time to learn about you as much as you learning about it. So point number 2 is make sure you're spending enough on ads. The more you can spend here in the earlier days, the quicker you will establish who, how, what, and how much you need to spend to get the leads that you need into your business and the conversions that you want. So please don't be a cheapskate here. Put enough budget on it so you start to get the reality of what you need to spend on your ads. Now, point 3 is that so many people, what they do here, they do wrong. And this is crazy because this is like spending money for no reason. Point 3 is what they do is they set the ad up and then they get busy. They set the ad up and they go off and they do other things. There's ads running. They don't look at it. They just leave it. And then 6 weeks later, they go, oh my God, Sally, I spent like £4,000 on ads because I left the ad running. That is just crazy. Don't set the ad up and just leave it. Set the ad up with a limited time, let's say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever it is you want to do. Set the budget, let Facebook figure it out, and just keep checking in on it. Keep having a look at it. You need to check to see if the ad's been approved, first of all. It might get banned. It might sit in review for ages. You need to, first of all, check if the ad's been approved. Next, you need to see what sort of cost per click you're getting, or cost per lead, or cost per conversion. If you're paying £50 per conversion for a product that's £7, you need to work on your avatar. You need to really get down into that audience again. So you need to check every single day when you first get it up and live, at least for the first week, and then every couple of days thereafter, to make sure everything's as it should be. And also, don't forget to check the ad itself, because trolls are a wonderful thing that you will discover when you get into Facebook ads. People just love to get on your ads and type all sorts of rubbish. They will say it's the biggest scam. They're just filtering. It's just that, there's a great button. It's called ban and delete. You will discover it when you start running Facebook ads. So don't forget to also check the ad itself, as well as actually checking the actual behind the scenes in the ads manager, how the advert is running, the cost of it, is it still live, and whether you're happy with that or not. And feel free at any time to stop it, reset the audience, and try again. Sometimes the audience can be too big, sometimes it can be too small, and sometimes they're not specific enough. Once you get this right, you'll see your ad spend come right down. And that's where you want. If you're only spending 50p a lead, you're going to make so much more money than if you're spending £47 per lead. But hey, £47 a lead, is that such a bad thing when that £47 is buying a £100 product? Don't get hung up on how much each lead is. You've got to look at how much you're making per conversion. And if you're making enough to cover that cost, don't worry about it. Don't sweat the small stuff. I've got an application funnel. It's actually for a £5,000 product, and we have paid up to £47 per conversion on that. But hey, we're making £5,000. Who cares? Okay, so don't get too hooked up with the value. Just make sure it's right for you. Make sure you're happy with it, and watch it. Do not set it up and run for the hills. This is like a baby. You've got to watch it. Okay, don't leave it. Point 4 is don't panic. And this is so common with new Facebook advertisers. What they do is they set the ad up, they set a budget of like £30 a day or £50 a day. Then after 5 days, they're like, oh, I've only had 5 downloads and 3 of them are my relatives. Oh, panic and stop. What's just happened? As soon as you venture into the world of being a Facebook advertiser, all your mates, your friends, your family, everyone you know is going to start downloading your thing. Perhaps put a shout out to them and say, don't, because you're costing me money. But hey, that's what's going to happen. But don't panic. It's going to take a little while, a few weeks of Facebook to get used to, a few weeks for you to get used to it and to see what's going to happen. Now, in that particular example I was just sharing with you, I was talking to a guy yesterday and he did exactly that. He'd actually had 5 conversions from it. 3 of them were his family, 2 of them weren't. I said, well, have you spoken to the 2 yet? He says, no, they're booked in for next week. I said, but you've cancelled your ad. He said, yeah. I said, you don't know if they've converted yet. I said, how much will they be worth to you if they convert? And they said, well, £1,000 each. I said, so potentially you've spent 70 quid on ads. You've had 5 conversions, 3 were your relatives, 2 weren't. You've got 2 potentials there. If they convert, that's £2,000 and it's cost you 70. What's the problem? You haven't actually given the ad time to work. You haven't given it time to go through the whole process. I had a similar example late last year. It was our application funnel again. We were spending about £47 per conversion, which is really quite high. We had about 15 conversions, which spent in total about £700, I think, off the top of my head. And I just thought, nothing's coming through yet, so I'm just going to stop this. And about 6 weeks later, we actually converted to 5,000 a piece. That was £10,000. And you start thinking, hey, why did I stop that ad? All right. So we all do it, but don't do it. Don't stop it too early. Allow it to run its course. Set your budget, stick to that, allow that time, maybe tweak the audiences, but allow it to run. Don't panic. Allow the fluctuation of time, because you could be stopping the next best thing for your business. So let it run its course. Point 5 is don't use language that Facebook doesn't like. Now, once you start running ads, you'll start to find out what I mean by this. And this is getting harder and harder and harder every single month. And Facebook is putting all sorts of algorithms. It's got automatic bots that will check your written text, will check your videos. It will check everything on the page, and it has people that check it as well. And what happens is if it picks out a few too many of the wrong words or the wrong style of language or the wrong use of language, it will actually ban your ad. Now, you might not think that's too bad, but if you get too many banned ads, they can shut your account down. Now, many businesses are actually making Facebook their primary marketing agency, and if they lost that, they lose everything. So be careful. Things like get-rich-quick schemes, things like political angles, anything religious, they're really, really not happy about certain things. So here's one tip I'd give you on how you should think about your ads and what you should say. If you wouldn't go into a pub and say exactly what you've put down on that ad or the landing page it's driving to, it's probably going to get banned. So if it's offensive, If it's insulting, or if it makes the reader feel bad or angry in any way, it's probably going to get banned. And the reason for that is that Facebook wants to create an environment a bit like a bar, places people want to hang out. You want to go on social media and you want to feel happy. You want to feel good. You want to feel positive. You don't want to be told that you're useless, that you're crap and you can't do what you're supposed to be doing. And so therefore it started to ban these sort of languages. Anything about make 100 grand in 5 minutes, anything like that, it's going to get banned because that's like get rich quick schemes. You mention any politicians' names, it's political, you have to be assigned as a political person of interest. So just be careful with the language that you use, and there's lots of stuff online you can read about this, so it goes into quite big detail, but just be careful. In your early days, nothing's going to happen, but just make sure if you're doing a lot of ads that you get the language right. So there you go, my 5 top tips on how you can stay safe with Facebook ads and not make the most common mistakes that everyone seems to make at some point, including yours truly. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you.